So I started working for Interxion 4 years ago in a job called procurement and vendor manager. The intention was to increase the amount of procurement we were doing actually in Interxion, because before I joined the company, the role was mainly focused on vendor management, so keeping the relationships with our main suppliers. As we were and are still growing, of course, it seemed logical to focus on the construction of our new data centers. So I started doing that mainly for the main equipment at first. So I went to Germany, one of our biggest data centers at the time, and I started investigating the cost differences between what was offered by our main contractors that we used before and what it would cost if we would buy the equipment directly ourselves. And the difference was significant, so that made us wonder if we could not better do it differently going forward. So there we started actually buying our main equipment ourselves directly, and we started calling it direct procurement to make it easy for everyone. And the role of the contractors actually changed in that. So before they were, well, we called them main contractors or general contractors, and they would deliver us kind of a turnkey solution. So they would do the construction of the shell and core, they do the fit out of the data center, and they would buy the equipment. And nowadays we do it a bit differently. So the equipment that we see as critical data center equipment and that we're buying directly, well, we can divide it into two categories. Let's say the mechanical and the electrical equipment. So the cooling equipment that we're buying is what we call the mechanical equipment, and the generators, UPSs, transformers, stuff like that is what we call the electrical equipment. The details, the specifications are being done by our engineering department, also based in our headquarters in Amsterdam, together with the engineers that we are using in the different countries. The requirements are being sent to our preferred suppliers, and they come back to us with their quotes on this. And based on that, we decide where we buy which equipment. Well, that becomes a bit more difficult nowadays because the market is quite stressed. So also here it is a combination of working with the different departments within our company. So first of all, again, I work with the engineers. So based on the design of the data center, they calculate exactly how much equipment is needed for a fully equipped data center. Next to that, there's of course always the project teams in the countries. They are very important because they work with the design companies in the countries. They also communicate with the sales departments, because our customer contracts, of course, give us an indication of the load that we can expect and how that will evolve over time. Based on this information, I work with my main suppliers, give them an indication of the number of equipment that is needed, but also the timelines, which are very important. And then product by product, we decide whether we need alternative suppliers or not. I do not see my role changing that much. Technology evolves, that's right. But like I said before, I'm working a lot with our engineering department and with the engineering companies in the countries. So whatever changes they see and they feel are needed for us, I'm just following them. So it does have an impact, of course, on what I am buying, but not so much on my role in itself, except for the fact that we are becoming more professional in the way we are actually procuring our new data centers, the constructions of it. So that is the part that we are still, that I still see changing, and there's still work to do there as well, of course.